It now costs over $18,000 a year just to own a home. That's before even you touch your mortgage. Meanwhile, rents are flat or even going down in some markets. This market is broken, and I'm going to show you exactly why and what you can do about it. Most people don't realize this, but owning a home today comes with a whole lot of hidden expenses. And I'm talking about property taxes, insurance, maintenance, HOAs or homeowners associations. Bankrate says that's over $18,000 a year on the average before your mortgage. So people are paying 40% more just to own the same home that they could rent, sometimes from the same builder. And here's the kicker. In many cities, you can rent the same property for hundreds, sometimes even thousands less per month. And the spread between rent and ownership cost is widening. This is not sustainable. So what broke the market? So how did we get here? Let's break it down. Mortgage rates doubled in the last 18 months. Insurance premiums, they're up 30 to 100% in some areas because of all the natural disasters. And local taxes, they're rising way faster than people's wages. And the maintenance, you can't even find contractors. And if you do, you're paying double if you can even find the people that want to do it. And builders are masking this pain with the rate buy downs and incentives. It's a Band-Aid right now. On top of that, supply is still down almost 45% from the historical average. That means that there's way more people trying to rent than they are trying to buy because they can't afford to buy. That's artificial scarcity. This is why prices aren't even dropping the way logic says that they should. So just our little company, our insurance premiums went up over $1 million a year in 1 year for no losses, just the exact same insurance that we had 1 year prior as a result of the fires and the hurricanes and the water damage and all the stuff that traditionally is happening in the Southeast and of course in the California areas and of course in Hawaii. All of those things, if you're a national or international insurance carrier, are passed on to the consumers in areas where there are no losses. So when there's big insurance claims in some areas of the country, they roll down throughout the country. All the customers are paying for that. Real consequences. This really impacts young people like my kids. First-time home buyers, locked down unless you've got 6 figures in cash. You have to have big down payments right now. Families are leaving high-cost states like California in droves, and they're driving up prices in places like Arizona, Utah, Texas. All of those states have inbound migration much higher because people are leaving other states. And Airbnb investors, they're dumping their properties because the numbers no longer work. Inflation has brought that industry to a standstill as well. And the whole generation, Millennials and Gen Z, they're being priced out for good. We are becoming a renter nation. So Airbnb itself is growing, but the number of units that are on Airbnb is oversupplied. So it's much better for the consumer. But if you're trying to be an Airbnb owner, you are now competing with thousands of people that are pricing at the same time and trying to get the same customers as you. So Airbnb nightly prices are going down and occupancies are also going down. So the Airbnb market has peaked and now it's retracting. Owning a home used to be the American dream, but now it's just a luxury item. So what happens next? So what does this mean for 2025 and 2026? Well, inflation is here to stay. And as inflation eats away at the margins, we're already seeing days on market longer. The boomers are downsizing. In other words, they're moving from big houses to smaller houses. And the millennials are sidelined. They can't afford it. The Gen Zs, they just can't qualify. So what you might see is policy shifts may come. What you might see with the new administration is policy shifts, they might come. Like 40-year mortgages or land leases or things like that. You might see that. And you might see things like President Trump has been talking about releasing federal land and actually bringing more supply of land into the marketplace. But these have lag effects. They're not going to hit the U.S. for some time. But until then, ownership is going to become the exception, not the rule. So that's why it's a great time to be a landlord, because we're going to get through this trough and you're going to start to see rent growth again. and you'll start to see an extremely strong rental market because the people cannot afford homes. While you might see days on the market and a little bit of softening in the home market, that's because people can't necessarily afford them. But one thing is for sure, home prices have gone up. In most markets, home prices have gone up. Now, for a lot of you who are just in this business for like maybe the last 5 or 10 years, this is new to you. You're not used to not having things sell quickly, but this is normal until you start to see price drops like we did in 2008, 2009. We are not in any kind of a crisis. In fact, I believe that you're going to start to see the home prices flatten and even grow a little bit over this period of time. So no matter what interest rates do, they come down a quarter, a half, or even a full point. While that might help temporarily, it's still not going to curb the high house prices, which I think are going to continue to go up. So right now, many people are in a position where they have to rent versus buy. And if you can, however, you should always buy. I firmly believe that you should buy real estate. If you're moving into the home and you have a family and all those kinds of things, and you're building your own credit, paying down your own mortgage, that's exactly what you should do. But if you're an investor, you have to make sure it cash flows. It's a very different philosophy if you're buying real estate for an investment or you're buying real estate to actually move in and live. As an investor, you always want to make sure that it cash flows. And what you have right now is you have very high mortgage payments, you have rising costs, and you have rents that are flat. So that's not a good recipe as a real estate investor generally. While single family housing is wildly unaffordable, there's a massive wealth shift that is happening in multifamily right now. And most people have no idea that this is even happening. If you want to see where the real opportunity is and how to profit, watch this video next.